Hello. Welcome, my fellow addicts. What can I do for you today? Of course, how could I forget? The Golf Ball Awards, yes. Allow me to pull up a chair. All right, now let's see what we've got here in this book here. Now, before I get into these wonderful Golf Ball Awards, our first ever, I do want to thank everyone on this channel because, as you guys know, you're the best followers I could ask for. But not just that. If it wasn't for you, this video doesn't exist. You guys have been awesome with voting for your fan favorite of the year, always giving constructive, great feedback about the different golf balls that you test, that we test, your experiences with them. All this doesn't happen if it isn't for you guys, and I just thank you very, very much. Now, we got a little special treat for you today. We have 10 categories with a bonus 11th fan favorite, but 10 categories that really reflect on the golf balls we tested this year, some of the amazing ones, some of the ones that were a little bit disappointing, and some that really surprised us a lot. We test a lot of direct-to-consumer golf balls on this channel, and our main goal at Golf Ball Addict is to essentially change the way a lot of you think about golf balls. Now, my fellow addicts have already been converted, if you will, but a lot of people still come to the channel from outside sources and leave comments and talk about how, X golf ball is the best, and how, the more expensive a golf ball is, the better it is for your game. And that's just not the case. Golf ball fitting is more important now than ever. We've been able to prove that with over 4 years of research, going on 5 now. And again, this whole community we've created is just outstanding, and I thank you guys for it. So without further ado, let's get into the first category, which of course is Best Newcomer. Now, let's be honest for a second. No one likes being the new guy at school. You have to make new friends. There's a lot of shyness. Maybe you're the new guy at work. You got to relearn how to do everything. You got to meet new people, remember names. It's overwhelming. I don't like it. However, every year, new golf balls are introduced. Some of them replace older models. They just have a refreshed name and look. And some of them are just brand new to the market as a whole. But here at Golf Ball Addict, we like to highlight those newcomers and say, hey, you know what? We're glad you're here. We want you to stick around. So here are the nominees for Best Newcomer this year, Golf Ball Edition. And the nominees are the Vice Pro Air, the Snell Prime 3.0, the PXG Extreme Tour X, the Lazarus L3R, and the Callaway Chrome Tour. First of all, let's go with our runner-up. Our runner-up this time around for this category is the Vice Pro Air, very much deserving. It replaced the Vice Pro Soft from the previous generation, and we found in our testing that it was extremely forgiving, very soft, squishy off the club. A lot of people really love that feel, but most importantly, it comes in a variety of really cool designs, and it maintains that really amazing price point that Vice has always had. So Vice golf balls did really well this year. That's the runner-up. So the winner is the PXG Extreme Tour X. Now, wow, that is a surprise. Now, big upset there. Love to see it. When I was first doing this, I didn't expect that one to be the winner, but here's the reality. PXG already had a solid golf ball. They had already done many things well. They made massive improvements on that golf ball, as well as came out with a brand new model, the Tour X, for, obviously a different type of swinger, less spin, a little more distance, and absolutely it was phenomenal. It currently holds the record for the fastest ball speed on the 7-iron, as well as the distance on the 7-iron. Not only does the PXG Tour Extreme have the farthest distance as far as its record, but it's also top 4 when it comes to driver ball speed. Throughout every club, it performed amazing. It's at a great price point if you can get them buy 2, get 1 free, which seems to be a normal sale they run, and they take care of our heroes. They take care of our nurses, our teachers, all this other stuff. You get an additional discount on top of that. PXG had a wonderful year, and they're rightfully deserving of that award. No, I'm not left home alone by any means. However, this next category does actually relate to that in some way, which this is actually the biggest surprise. So how does this golf ball category really get marked? Well, a lot of the time there's expectations, right? We all have expectations in life, whether it's at our job or our relationships, family, friends. Everyone expects something of us. Well, when I review a golf ball, I have different expectations for different golf balls. Sometimes I review a golf ball and my expectations are low. Hey, this costs $10 a dozen. You know, it's really cheap and inexpensive. Let's see what it can do. Hey, it's phenomenal. And sometimes it's the other end where, hey, this golf ball's $60 a dozen. It better do my taxes for me. It better, take my dog on walks. It better do all kinds of stuff, but it better at least perform good. So sometimes when that happens, there's a surprise. Sometimes that surprise can be good or bad, but let's get into the nominees for the biggest, bestest surprise of 2024. And the nominees are the Wright & Ditson, the Vice Pro Plus, the Legato LTX 3085, the Wilson Boost, the TaylorMade TP5, TP5X, and the Penfold Ace. Really great nominees there. The winner, the runner-up is the Vice Pro Plus. No surprise there. Vice Pro Plus, one of the biggest surprises of the year. The Vice Pro Plus previously was not a ball I used. It was too firm. It was too clicky. I lost distance on mishits, but they did soften it up a little bit. They kept those great designs they have in there. They kept the price point again. So far, Vice 2 for 2 on runner-ups. So you can tell, even though they haven't won, they're in it. And the Vice Pro Plus has been one that a lot of you have told me in the year through the comments, emails. You really love it a lot, and rightfully so. It's an amazing golf ball. However, the winner, the biggest surprise is the Wilson Boost. Now, a lot of my fellow addicts probably saw this coming. I mentioned at the beginning of this about how sometimes a golf ball's $10 a dozen and you don't have much expectation. Well, that was the Wilson Boost. It's available for $9.97 for a dozen at Walmart. That's, just you pick it up. It's in this new light blue casing. But what really surprised me about it is just how well and how fast it came off the club. I mean, just really phenomenal medium compression feel, rockets off the club. Every club had great performance above average, and I didn't lose any driver distance, which is a big common concern when it comes to these type of two-piece golf balls. Now look, does it look cheap? Of course it does. It's $10 a dozen. What do you expect? Come on. But for $10 a dozen, the community agrees. This is one of the biggest surprises, but also one of the best golf balls that we tested in the 2024 season. So congratulations, Wilson. Is that going to be the replacement for the Zip? It's looking like it. If there's one thing I love, it's supporting small business. Now, I'll admit, sometimes I'm guilty of going to Walmart if it's convenient, or going to other big grocery stores, or going to these big name shops. Ordering from Amazon, I'm kind of guilty at that too. But every chance I get, I try to shop local. I try to shop small, because as a former business owner, I know how important that money is to them. They really appreciate it, whereas other companies, you're just a number. And the same can be said in the golf ball industry. So there's a lot of direct-to-consumer companies that come out, especially since COVID. So now it seems like it's like a spreadness of an illness. It's just all over now. Everyone wants their own golf ball. But what's great about this channel is we love testing those, because the thing is, with that much congestion in the market, someone's got to sort through them and pick the good from the bad, from the ugly to the great, and that's what I'm here for. I do that work so you don't have to. You're welcome. Now, here are a few nominees for my favorite direct-to-consumer golf ball of 2024. The nominees are the Snell Prime 3.0, the Wright & Ditson, the Legato LTX 3085, the Penfold Ace, the Seed SD15 Country Mile, and the Trust Bison V, or 5, however you pronounce it. Your choice. First of all, the runner-up is the Wright & Ditson. Honestly, when someone sent this to me on Instagram and said, hey, review this ball, I was like, sure, $29.99, 4-piece urethane. I don't have a lot of expectations. But then after I went to the site, I noticed that it has kind of this boutique vintage look to it, which is different, unique, stands out in a crowd. Number one thing you have to do as a direct-to-consumer company, stand out. They did that, but they also had these really cool logos on the side, kind of like ball markers, basically. And they have a variety of different black and white monochromatic looks, as you can see, but they all are golf related. Dance floor, breakfast ball, things like that. They're golf, swing juice, all that stuff. So it's actually really cool, and it's a nod to the old company. And here's the other thing, the golf ball's phenomenal. It tests really, really well. I've used it out on the course. It's been great. The consumer feedback from the community we have has been awesome as well. It's just a really great golf ball. I know what you're thinking. Well, Nick, that sounds awesome, but then why did it win runner-up? Well, that's because our winner, which is the Seed SD15 Country Mile. So listen, the Wright and Didson did an amazing job. Why did I pick the Seed over it? Well, first of all, Seed as a golf company really surprised me this year. They make quality, really fine-tuned golf balls. I mean, they feel premium, they look premium, they have a lot of control, they have a lot of consistency, and I'm talking about even the cheap two-piece model. That's what this one is. This is their cheap two-piece model, but cheap is not the right word there because it's actually a DuPont Surlyn. It's some of the best materials you can get in the golf ball industry, and it shows. Now, the big thing I love about two-piece golf balls is their forgiveness, and there was plenty of it. You know, miss hits went only about 5 yards difference than my regular shots, you know, my pure strikes. But what I really loved was the accuracy forgiveness. You know, miss hits didn't go left or right, everything. The dispersion was extremely low. It's extremely consistent. It has shaved strokes off my game. Playing the golf ball has. I hit a lot more greens with it. You know, my errant shots aren't in the woods now. You know, I mean, if I hit one bad enough, you know, it might be left to the green or something. There's just that added forgiveness, not only on miss hits from the club, but also from left and right. And I noticed that apparently. So that's why I gave the nod to the Seed. I thought it was a phenomenal golf ball. I think it's extremely, extremely underrated, especially for a lot of us who still need just the ball to go straight and then get it to go straight and then get it in the hole, if you know what I mean. Real quick, we're going to take a word from our sponsors. This is a little something about some new clubs for reviewing. I don't know, let's take a look.
Dear Santa, this year for Christmas, I would really like a new set of irons to test golf balls with for the Season 5 2025 season of Golf Ball Attic.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Oh, yeah. Sorry, let me get it in focus there. Sexy. Very sexy. I love that. You know, this is the kind of stuff they put in those magazines that you have to be, I think, like 18 older or by. Like, I'd read that. That's darn good looking. Now, there is a reason I went with Vice. That's a different video for a different day. But I paid for these. I know there's still some haters out there who think I'm signed to Vice. I'm not. I paid really good money for these. I'll tell the story of it someday, but that day is not today. We have more categories to get for it. But yes, I'm super excited to finally have a fully matching wedge set. Never have had that before. And then also I'm really excited just to have new clubs. I was never really a big fan of those Mizunos. I think you guys knew that. All right, so next up is our best golf ball brand. This category is essentially the best brand overall. Who does the most right? You know, if you have a line of 4 or 5 golf balls, are they all really good? You know, what else do you offer? Do you offer great clothing? Do you offer great, you know, clubs? Do you offer, what else do you bring to the table? This is just golf ball brand in general. Let's look at the nominees. We have, of course, Vice Golf, Seed Golf, Snell Golf, Bridgestone, Wilson Staff, and Maxfly Golf. The runner-up is Seed Golf. I just talked about it. Seed had a phenomenal year here on the channel with us. You know, they have so many different golf balls. They have so many different designs. They have matte. They have, you know, 4 or 5 different colors in matte. They also have, you know, an alignment tool that's really unique and really cool looking, if you ask me. Love their logo, love how they piece their golf balls together. I love how their attention to details as far as the testing and how, you know, they don't offer much of anything else other than golf balls, but I feel like the golf balls they are extremely passionate about. They're golf ball addicts just like us, and every time I test one of their golf balls, I'm intrigued in some way. The winner, best golf ball brand, is the Vice Golf lineup. Now, First of all, let's talk about their golf balls. The Vice Pro Air, the Vice Pro, the Vice Pro Plus, the Drive, the Tour. They all saw new updated releases for this year, all brand new lineup, new designs, the whole nine, and all of them tested really, really well, except for the Drive. We won't talk about that one. But those other four, the Tour and the whole Pro Series, all phenomenal, broke records at the time. I still use those golf balls to this day. The Air, if it's kind of a little chilly out and I need something, you know, softer. But during those hot days, I'm using the Pro Plus as long as I'm hitting the ball decent. They're phenomenal golf balls. They've been great. But not only did Vice do that this year, they really amped up this club line they have, as you can see from when I just purchased. And these clubs are really great for a first time trying out. I know it's a lot easier to make clubs nowadays because of factories and stuff, but the fact that it looks so good, it feels so good, it performs so good already just your first time out, really was impressed with that. They had an amazing Black Friday sale where I got those clubs 30% off, but also, you know, just their clothing line this year was great. They just do a lot of stuff really well. I love their shoe collabs. They put a lot of product out there to where if you play Vice balls and you decide, you know what, I love this, I want to be a part of it, you can be. You can be all Viced out, Vice umbrella, Vice bags, Vice this, that, and all the designs are fresh, they're unique. Hard to argue with that. So really great from all those there. I appreciate it. Let's get into our next category. Our next category is biggest disappointment. Now, you know, just like everything else, we've all felt disappointed, right? And why do we feel disappointment? Because of expectations. You know, people have expectations. Either we exceed them or we don't exceed them. And if we don't exceed them or at least meet them, it's a disappointment, right? Same thing for golf balls here. Essentially, with the way golf balls work is, you know, I go into a golf ball, I expect it to test good. Now, it doesn't always have to test great or amazing, it just has to hold its own. So for something to be a disappointment, it has to not only not meet expectations, it has to just be plain terrible. So with that being the case, let's look at our biggest disappointments. And the nominees are the Kirkland Signature V3, the LA Golf Ball, the Mizuno RB566, Odin X, the Vice Drive, the Spalding SD Tour. And the runner-up is the Vice Drive. Now this is interesting because we just talked about Vice as far as, you know, being the best golf ball brand. It had two runners-up. But there's really no shaking it. The Vice Drive is awful, and it really doesn't make any sense at this point because you have the other golf balls that have so much attention and love and care. It's almost like they spend all their time and they're like, did we meet the deadline? Oh, 5 minutes left, yes. And they're like, hey, did you ever update that drive? Just put it out, we're out of time. That's what every Vice Golf Drive review feels like. It feels like they just didn't spend any amount of time on it. They completely forgot about it and they just were like, yeah, who cares? No one orders that one anyway. Well, as you know, we've seen from the SD 115, sorry, I get confused with those names, Seed. Yeah, you need some easier names. The SD 15 Country Mile, it's a two-piece golf ball. Two-piece golf balls can be very, very well performing considering the advancements in technology we've had, all kinds of stuff. Two-piece is in. I'm a big fan of them. A lot of my followers are a big fan of them. Like, we know there's a lot of great two-piece golf balls now. So why doesn't Vice care about theirs? You already have this market where the Pro Series is regarded as one of the best on the market. The Tour is an amazing value if you still want three-piece, but a little firmer and clickier. And then the Drive is one of the worst golf balls I've tested. And it's like, it's such a shame because if they could just get that Drive right, it'd be a powerhouse. But the most disappointing golf ball overall for the year goes to the Kirkland V3. This is no surprise here. The Kirkland has done terrible in robotic testing. It's done terrible in human testing, what we've done here. And the reality is it's not a good golf ball, and we know that. We know that from both sides. However, the reason it's the biggest disappointment is because all of us want a golf ball like that to be good. We want to be able to go to a grocery store and spend $1.50 a golf ball, get a three-piece urethane, and feel like we really stuck it to them. You know, I didn't pay your Pro V1 prices. I paid two-piece prices, but got a three-piece urethane, great golf ball. It's just not the case. The V2 was soft. It was really a good-feeling golf ball, but it spun too much. And with the V3, they made it firmer, clickier. They tried to imitate the Pro V1. And anytime a golf ball tries to imitate the Pro V1, it's always disastrous. It just is, because they firm it up. It's too clicky. The goal of direct-to-consumer companies and companies like Costco, Kirkland Signature should not be to imitate the Pro V1. It should be to convince the market they don't need it, because they don't. Most of the market doesn't need a Pro V1 or a Chrome Tour or a TP5. You're not going to get the most out of it. So the idea that Kirkland's trying to say, you know what, instead of convincing our consumers, let's just say, oh, you love the Pro V1, here, let's just push this garbage out. It ain't going to work. And I know a lot of you, I've gotten so much hate. I've had ridiculous amounts of hate for hating on the Kirkland V3. But numbers are numbers, and they're not good. If you're a sports watcher like me, one of the favorite things I love to see every year during the awards is the comeback player of the year or the most improved player. There's nothing better than seeing a guy struggle, at being a low point in their life, not playing their best, not feeling their best, not looking their best, and then the next year coming up and being triumphant and saying, you know what, no, I was better than that, I worked hard, now look at me. It's a great feeling. And in golf balls, it can be the same way. A lot of the time, a company just doesn't have a good golf ball, or maybe they just had a bad year, and then they have to follow it up the following year with a complete rebrand, complete redesign, and essentially make it better for the consumer and for everyone who's using it alike. This doesn't happen very often, but when it does happen, I'm really excited. I love to see it. I love to see successes, and that's what this category is all about. So let's look at the nominees for Most Improved Model Golf Ball. And the nominees are the TP5, the TP5X, the PXG Extreme Tour, the Bridgestone Tour BX, the Wilson Staff, the Vice Pro Plus. And the runner-up is the TP5. I'm not a TaylorMade guy. I've never been a TP5 guy. I've always hated, I've always had a lot of criticism, rightfully so. It used to be firm, it used to be clicky, it used to be punishing, where you mishit it and your hands just, I can't stand it. They came out in 2024 with a new model. You guys had told me all year they softened it up. I tested it. It's really good. This golf ball went from 50s to where, I'm not going to tell you where it's at on the list, but it's a lot higher than that. It was a much improved model. I wish they had kept a little bit of that spin, unfortunately, so it's not perfect, but they still improved enough on it to where I'd use the golf ball now. If I had one, I'd actually use it, whereas before I would just give it to somebody or toss it in my shag bag or whatever. So that's a pretty good improvement to move from shag bag to, yeah, I'll play it, absolutely. Good job. But the most improved model this year, by far, the winner, drum roll please, the Bridgestone Tour BX. Good for you, Bridgestone. Really good for you. This is a company that last year when I did my testing, I wasn't really impressed with any of their golf balls. All of them were around the 50s, 60s in the top 100. I take them or leave them. I could have just left them. I didn't care one way or the other. And then they came out with a newer updated model this year. One that actually saw even Tiger switch. And what did Tiger switch to? Oh, that's right, the Bridgestone Tour BX. Now, why did he do that? Well, when he was asked about it, he said he thought that because of the changes, it helped his game and it was fulfilling to his game. I can understand why. It's a phenomenal golf ball. I love it. It's not meant for my swing speed even. I still do really well with it. It's a golf ball I use on the course. I find them, I keep them, I get excited about it. This one moved from a really low point on the top 100 to a very high point, and so that's why it was easy to give it that most improved. This next one you're gonna love. A lot of you love spin. I hear it all the time. I gotta have that check up on the green. I gotta have that rip back to me. Yeah, okay. Regardless, this category is for the most spinniest, I hope that's a word, spinniest golf ball. Now, how did I calculate this? Well, basically, I just went through all the clubs that I test. I add up the RPM, the one that had the most at the end. Obviously, yeah, that's the most spinningest golf ball. So it does cover more than just your 50-yard pitch. It covers also full shots on the 9-iron and the 5, because I don't want a golf ball that spins a ton with my wedge, but then spins 0 with my hybrid, because how am I going to stick a green with my hybrid? So that's the way this is done. Let's look at the nominees. We have the Vice Pro, the Legato LTX 3085, Vice Pro Plus, the Vice Tour, the Seed SD05, the Pro Soft, and the TaylorMade Speed Soft Ink. All right, the runner-up for the second most spinning golf ball, the Vice Pro Plus. Again, a great golf ball. It's won a couple of awards. We've talked about it. Is it really surprising that it spins a lot too? Of course not. As for the main winner, drum roll please, we are looking at the Vice Pro. Wow, the whole Vice lineup, the fact that you already had 3 nominees in there, the fact that 2 of them, one won, one got the runner-up. The Vice golf balls are legit, and if you're someone who really values spin a lot and you've got to get that golf ball to stick and rip back to you, the Vice lineup is the real deal. Once again, we take a break from our sponsors for a special message. This one I think is related to clothing. I don't know. Check it out.
Hey, listen, I get it. You're a golf ball addict, and you love golf balls, and you want to express that. You want to express that to your family and your friends, but you feel like you can't. There's really no way to, and you feel like they don't understand you. You feel isolated, alone. Well, you don't have to anymore. Coming very soon is a variety of different ways. 6 designs for the spring collection of Golf Ball Addict 2025. Be ready to show your friends, your family, just how much you really love golf balls. Is it an obsession? Is it a sickness? Who cares? We're here for it.
Imagine the look at your next Christmas party or family event when you show up wearing a shirt that has a picture of a crack pipe with a golf ball with it. Who doesn't want to see that? I do. As you guys know, one of the things I love about golf balls is their designs, their alignment tools, how the font is, and I get it, a lot of you don't like that stuff. But the thing is that golf balls are finding more and more ways to stand out. You have the Q-Star Tour Divide that, splits the golf ball in half, old Ping style. And then you have Vice who does the drip. And then you have, TP5s that have customizable options to put different look. Look, there's all kinds of great designs now that you can be personable. You can kind of show a little bit of personality in there. It's a great time if you love that kind of stuff. And so here are nominees for the best designed golf balls of 2024. The Vice Pro Series as a whole, the Wright and Ditson, the PXG Extreme Tour and Tour X, the Seed Golf Ball lineup, TaylorMade Golf, and the Callaway Chrome lineup. All right, first of all, our runner-up is the Vice lineup. Now that's an upset, as my fellow followers know, a lot of my addicts know. I love Vice. I really love what they do. And one thing I love about them the most is their designs, the drip, the special editions, all the limited collabs. They make so many cool different designs. I play the Pro Air in this neon pink color that's really cool. They added like a gray and pink tour this year. They have the hue from the Vice Pro Plus is incredible. They have some amazingly designed golf balls that are really unique, and the reason Vice didn't win this is actually pretty simple, and that's because although I love their designs, their limited editions that came out this year, boring. Really not. They're okay. They're cool if you're a collector, but it wasn't something that I saw and went, oh my goodness, I have to have that. Whereas the year before, we had the Jack Nicklaus and we had a bunch of them that I just thought, oh my goodness, I got to get my hands on those, and the ones from past, and I just didn't see that this year. And so Vice kind of took a little slip, and that little slip was all it needed for this one right here to take the advantage right in the final corner. Lap 500, turn 4, the final stretch, it snuck ahead, and that company is TaylorMade Golf. Again, I'm not a big TaylorMade guy, but here's the reality, okay? TaylorMade made a bunch of good decisions as far as they have NFL players you can put on their your favorite quarterback and kind of a caricature look. You can do your My symbol, which is really cool. They come out with limited editions, like they have a casino one right now, and they have a new Winter Wonderland one that's all Christmas themed, and the balls are all, one of them sleigh, and they also still have the stripe. And speaking of the stripe, that was the big thing that TaylorMade did this year, was they brought a new stripe design to their TP5 and TP5X golf balls. Great decision. I really love it a lot, especially for practice and feedback. And not to mention, they still have the Pix models as well, as far as just the alignment tool with the Pix. So TaylorMade has a really well-designed golf balls. I love what they did with their special editions. But more importantly, like I said, that little tiny slip from Vice, TaylorMade saw the opportunity and stuck like an arm out and then got the first place. So really good there. And also I forgot to mention this Red Bull collab. I don't drink Red Bull and I don't like tailor-made golf balls that much, but when I see that, I'm like, I have to have those. That's a good designed golf ball. When you hate the two things, maybe two negatives make a positive, but I see that and I'm just like, I need them. I need it now. Don't know why. Now look, we gave love to the direct-to-consumer golf balls, but what about those of you that do like to play tour balls? You don't mind spending the money, you want a really good product, maybe you want it made in the USA, I don't know, maybe it's a number of reasons. But you're like, hey Nick, what's the best tour golf ball? Well, that's what we're gonna do next, and the nominees are the Wilson Staff and Staff X, the Max Fly Tour Series, the Titleist Pro V1, Pro V1X, the TaylorMade TP5 and TP5X, the PXG Extreme Tour and Tour X, and the Bridgestone lineup. The runner-up is the Wilson Staff and Staff X. Big underdog here, really underrated golf ball. Why does it get the runner-up? Well, easy. One, my testing is phenomenal. The way they've made their golf ball feel, the way they've made it look. They run buy two, get one free a couple times a year. This golf ball performs incredibly, even for an average to good consumer. Now, I do recommend still a decently fast swing speed, probably 95, somewhere in there. But the reality is, if you're above that and you're even a decent player, you're going to like this golf ball. It has a feel that is so unique and different. It has tons of feedback, tons of control. It feels like a golf ball that is easy to pick up and play, but difficult to master. And that's the human side of it. But what also is great about this golf ball is that robotic testing was done this year by Today's Golfer. We did a whole video on that. And the Wilson and the Wilson X, top three in almost every single category, whether it's ball speed, driver distance, 7-iron distance, 7 ball speed, wedge, spin, you name it, accuracy, no matter what it was, those golf balls were almost in top 3 in every single category. It was a man playing a child's game. Like, it was just insane how great that golf ball performed. Once I saw that, I grabbed some, I tried them. I still haven't gotten to test the X yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. Easy runner-up. Seriously, easy runner-up. But what could beat that? Well, in another upset, the PXG Extreme Tour and Tour X. Again, PXG, every time I talk about them, every time I see a commercial, every time I hear something they do, I like them a little more. I mean, that's just plain and simple, because what they're doing right now, the people, who they're choosing to take care of, with teachers and veterans, but also just how they go about their business, how they go about their fitting process. They check everything off. It's like, hey, here's everything I'd want in a perfect company. If you can get 7 out of 10 of these right, cool. And they're just like, no, we'll get all of them actually. We'll just do all 10 if that's cool. I bought those Vice clubs, but I'll tell you what, there's a little tiny part of me somewhere in here, just deep down, that's like, you could have went and got fitted for PXGs. Anyway, the PXG golf balls were phenomenal this year. They absolutely deserve this. Congratulations, PXG. Really impressed. I can't say any more good things about you. One of the hardest lessons I've ever had to learn in my life is to forgive. It's forgiveness, to Jesus comes easy, but forgiveness to like us, it's hard. It's hard to forgive your enemies. It's hard to forgive people who are mean to you. It's hard to forgive people who have hurt you. But forgiveness is good. It's good not only for them, but it's good for you too. It really gives you a sense of inner peace. Now, I'm not here to get all religious on you or anything like that, but my point is that when we play golf, man, that's a hard sport. It almost feels like someone's yelling at you the whole time, and sometimes it feels like the world's falling apart, and then you get the yips, and then you get the shanks, and then it's just all... So sometimes it's nice to have forgiveness, not only in our golf clubs, which a lot of you will buy, really forgiving game improvement irons, most of the time myself included, that's what I've been buying for years. But also what a lot of you don't realize is there's a lot of forgiveness packed into the golf ball. A lot of the time, a softer a golf ball is, when you mishit it, it still goes most of the distance. A lot of the time with really good forgiveness golf balls, 170 is your 7-iron, 165 is a mishit. That's really great forgiveness. But there's other golf balls you might get 140. Well, that's 30 yards off. That's not really good forgiveness. And then there's also forgiveness in the way of, your left and your right spin. And so a golf ball that is just a nice 2-piece, long, straight, can help a lot of golfers who are having penalties. If you find yourself having 4 or 5 penalties around, go back to a two-piece. You don't need to be hitting the ball out of bounds that much. Like, try to get it straight. Let's play tee, fairway, green, hole. It's not a complicated game until you get out there. So the nominees for the most forgiving golf ball are the Wilson Boost, the Wilson Zip, the Maxfly Straight Fly, the Seed SD 1.5 Country Mile, the Vice Pro Air, and the Top Flight Gamer, which was a last edition. If you looked at my website, that one was not on there, but I just tested it. The forgiveness was phenomenal. I was actually really blown away. But they did take the Top Flight Gamer and they turned it from a three-piece to a two-piece, so I think that was kind of the design. But it snuck in there with a nomination. Good for it. It's actually really forgiving. So the runner-up is going to be the Maxfly Straight Fly. Listen, the Maxfly Straight Fly is one of those underground cult classics. You know, it's Fight Club. Comes out, everyone hates it. What is this? I mean, is this supposed to be a movie 15 years later? One of the best movies ever created. I mean, I love it. I watch it once a year. It's a cult classic, right? Because most people, when they think Maxfly, go, okay, yeah, you know, I've seen, you know, my golf spa, the Tour and the Tour X, and I think like a Tour S or something. It's like an AV, but no one thinks about the Straight Fly because it's a cheap two-piece golf ball. Well, it may be cheap, but it ain't nothing cheap about the performance. Long, straight, forgiving, not a lot of side spin. One of the easiest golf balls to pick up and hit and just get the ball to go straight and consistent. It's definitely one that if you're learning the game or you're just trying to get back in the groove and hit some decent shots, gain some confidence, you're not going to spend a lot of money, but you're going to love how it performs. However, that's slightly out-edged it though, and it's a golf ball that looks, acts, and feels very similar. I'm going with the Seed SD 1.5 Country Mile. Again, just really, I talked about it earlier, really consistent, easy to pick up and hit, a nice kind of soft explosiveness, but not too explosive. Distance control was phenomenal. It's a great golf ball. It really is. It's one of my favorites of the year. And after all the testing and after, you know, adding up all the numbers, all of these golf balls are super forgiving, and it was close. But that SD15, because it's not only miss hits on the club, but because it's, like I said earlier, that dispersion from accuracy, it was an easy choice to give it the number one nod. Guys, thank you so much for being here. We have one more category. I appreciate you sitting here listening to me ramble the whole time. I know it was really long. I know I talk a lot, but the reality is I'm addicted to golf balls, and I absolutely love them. I love doing these reviews, and so do I rant sometimes? I do. I encourage you guys, watch it in 1.5 speed, watch it in 2 times speed, you know, never feel bad about doing that. Sometimes I ramble. If you want to skip here and there, I get it. Like right now, you can do it right now. Hey guys, we have one category left, and that is fan favorite. These, of course, were voted on by you. I asked you guys a couple weeks ago to give me your golf ball of the year, and you guys voted. I counted all the tiles, and we have a bronze, a silver, and a gold medalist. When it comes to this, let's start with the bronze. The TaylorMade Tour Response Stripe. You know, it's so funny. When I tested this golf ball 1.5 years ago, it was okay. You know, I didn't really care for it. I like the stripe design, but that's about it. I knew they were coming out with a new model this year because I work at a golf course that is partnered with TaylorMade, and so I knew they had a prototype. Like I had heard through the grapevine and seen a couple that had got lost. It was a prototype, so I knew they were changing the model. But no one really asked for it. No one mentioned it. I hadn't heard anything, and so I never really put it on my list of golf balls to review this year, and I didn't get to it. And I was like, oh, well, you know, it is what it is. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing these votes. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It's your golf ball of the year. And the votes just kept coming in. And I'm like, well, maybe I need to retest it. And so I took the new 2024 model, went out, tested it. It was pretty good. It got a lot higher on the list. It's going to be a lot higher than 67 or whatever, I can promise you. It's a great golf ball. I'm glad. That's one of the benefits of being a community. Sometimes I can come back and retest a golf ball because you guys tell me to, and it does better. That was one where the community won, so good job. Our silver medalist, this is a golf ball that was nominated for a lot of awards. It didn't win one, but boy, it probably should have. If it wasn't for a okay 5 hybrid performance, it probably would have won a lot more, and that's the Legato LTX 3085. a golf ball that took the internet by storm this year. Amazon, $29.99 a dozen. You can't beat it. It's a phenomenal golf ball. A lot of you really love it, as you can see from voting for it. Like I said, it just couldn't inch out any actual wins, but I think it was nominated 3 or 4 times, and so that kind of tells you it's always in the top. It may not be number 1, but it deserves your time. It deserves, a tryout from you. It's an amazing golf ball, and a lot of you really love it. Our gold medalist, the Vice Pro Air. This golf ball, the Vice Pro Plus did get votes. The Pro got a couple votes, but the Air by far was everyone's favorite, and it's easy to see why. It's really affordable at $32.99 a dozen if you buy 5 boxes or more. Even at $39.99, it's a great value, but they've updated this model. The performance is great. The value's there. The designs are awesome. I don't know what else you could ask for. I loved it this year. I've been using it the last couple of weeks because it's been kind of colder. You all love it. You've been using it. Nothing else to say. So that is the fan favorite of the year. Congratulations to Vice. Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me talk about golf balls for this long. This is just insane. You guys are the best. As always, I would love your guys' feedback. I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was long and I talk a lot, but I hope I brought you some form of entertainment or escape or some type of enjoyment to your life. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much for spending the evening with me. I really appreciate you guys listening to me ramble about golf balls for a long, long time. As I said before, you guys are the best I could ask for, and none of this is possible without you. Have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy Holidays, enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy it all. I just want to leave you with this. It's one of my favorite verses. Proverbs 11:25. A generous person will prosper. Whoever refreshes others will be refreshed. Keep that in mind this holiday season. It's the season of giving. Remember to love each other. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you so much.